Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast.
With the square mic?
You used it like a mallet type thing, yeah? You've already gave Coogan that joke, we won't use it here, but Eddie, before we start, I'm going to apologise, I've got my Invisalign in my teeth, so I'm going to talk...
We're doing that at the moment.
Yeah, no, I see Frank's got his as well.
What is it like, just to straighten
I want teeth like yours.
Yeah, mine are good, but I've got one's just like coming out a bit there, is it? Really? Okay, it's like relaxation, mate, yeah.
I can try like this. Oh, we're having a good time. Eddie, we're here in Miami once again. I'm thankful to be here. Williams and Andrade. I know you like a little bit of back and forth. So when that heated up, that went from 0 to 100 real quick at the end there. So I seen you smiling when that happened. We're in for a treat on Saturday night, aren't we?
Yeah, I like Liam Williams. You know, I like him as a fighter. I like him as a bloke. Of course, Demetrius is our guy, and I hope he wins in style on Saturday night. But I'm really excited about this fight. When this fight, Demetrius is crying out for a big fight, right? But when this fight got ordered by the WBO, I was quite happy because I thought that's a great fight. That's a real fight. I can't say the fight has lit fire in America because the American fight fans are just like, when is Demetrius Andrade going to fight, a real fighter? But in the UK, this fight is big because they know how good Liam Williams is. And a lot of people, this is our 5th fight with Demetrius Andrade, he's not lost one round in any of those fights, right? And people keep turning up going, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. They haven't been good enough. But sometimes those people also haven't actually had the nuts to go and do it. Liam Williams has got the nuts. Is he good enough? I'm not sure. But Demetrius may be a pound for pound top fighter. If he is, Liam Williams is going to have a tough job. But one thing he'll do, Liam, is he'll leave it all in the ring. Right? I mean, you just saw him going off again out here. I'm excited, and I know that Dom will get him in great spirits for this fight. Obviously, you got Queensbury, and they could have a world middleweight champion as well. So it's nice. Like, we all want to win, and I love that because that's what sport's about, And it is, but it's all about real sport, real fights, real competition, and this is a really good competitive fight.
Liam Williams has said that I've spoke to him all week. He said he's going to knock Andrade out. I mean, he's confident. He's super confident. Where do you think that confidence comes from Liam?
Just belief, really. I just think that he believes he's going to win. You have to also look at the fact that he's put in good performances. Sometimes people come in and they talk the talk, and you kind of look at the performances and the resume and you go, where are you getting that confidence from? Like, I know Alante Fox is not an elite world-class fighter, but he ain't bad. And actually, Demetrius went the distance with him, and Liam just destroyed him. He come off those 2 Liam Smith fights, and Liam Smith's a world-class fighter, by the way. And they were, especially the first fight was competitive in that fight. But I feel like he's improved a lot. It's just that there's levels, isn't there? And sometimes, like, he may turn up, he may show the aggression, he may want to win so badly, but he might just be levels below Demetrius Andrade. That could happen. But it will be fun finding out because he will make sure that he does everything he can, and he won't stop trying to win this fight, Liam Williams.
Andrade, you said he could be a pound for pound great, so what does he have to do? Beat Williams on Saturday night, but what does he have to do to get the Golovkin, the Charlo, Murata? What does he have to do?
I don't know. Is it like I had a meeting yesterday with Louis de Cubas, works with our Heyman. I said, look, can't Charlo fight Demetrius? I mean, Charlo's out there going, I want all the champions. I want to unify. I want to do this. It's like, well, fight Demetrius Andrade. There's no excuses. He's going to be the same money that you paid for Derevenchenko, and it's going to do a load more buys on pay-per-view. It's 2 really good American fighters in a unification middleweight world. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Answer, they know how good he is. All these fighters that grew up with Demetrius know how good he is. None of them want to fight him. So I'm almost hoping that he scrapes through on Saturday night and then ends up landing a big unification fight. But he's not guaranteed to win on Saturday. Because also, there is maybe an argument that he's missed his boat. You know what I mean? Maybe he's not at his peak anymore. He's, I don't know. But Liam Williams is pressing all the right buttons to get Demetrius fired up. And I think a fired up, focused Demetrius, I've actually changed my mind. I think Demetrius is going to knock Liam Williams out.
That's a big statement. Yeah.
I do, because, and I think it could be backwards and forwards, and I've just got a feeling that you could see a masterclass here.
It's almost like opposites, isn't it? Andrade and Liam Williams, the way they approach the fight game. It's almost like men are from Mars and women from Venus, that opposite type thing. And it's like, when I look at Liam, he's so confident. Andrade's like the cool, calm, collected guy, but he heated up real quick there. Imagine the Charlo fight. Charlo's like that. Can you imagine the back and forth between Charlo and Andrade?
Yeah, like when I talk about these fighters, I don't talk about it's not disrespect. Charlo is a brilliant fighter, right? I think he's great for the sport, but it's a bit like when you talk about the Ryan Garcia situation with Devin Haney. At some point, you have to just stop, just assess the situation and say, why not, right? And the answer is because the teams, because the fighters know how good that person is. Ryan Garcia won't fight Devin Haney because they don't believe they can beat him. I'm sorry. Like when you're mandatory for someone and there's a big money fight there and you're talking about everyone else but Devin Haney, you don't want to fight him because you think you might get beat by him. That is why, and that's the same with Charlo. And Charlo will come out and say, no, maybe it's the team. Maybe it's the trainer going, no, Demetrius. And this is, honestly, Andy, this is what everyone says about Demetrius. Not fighting him. Why would you say that? The only reason, because he's fucking really good, right? Who needs Demetrius Andrade? Well, you said you want to fight the champions. And again, as a Canelo fanboy, he just wants the belts. Like he will fight. No one really wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders either. Good fighter, slick, southpaw, very talented, but he has a belt. So if you actually want to become undisputed, if you want to unify, you have to fight these champions.
I want to talk about the undercard quite quickly. You broke it down perfectly. It's like all your prospects you've got here in America, they're fighting guys 6-0. No. Ty McLeod is 6-0, 6 knockouts fighting Espino, and you've got like Arthur Jones fighting another kid who's 13-1. I think it's like they're matching them tough here.
And then Biaslanov 7-0 against 9-0. Because I want to know.
It's 50-50.
But when you have, look, we've got so many prospects around the world, right, in so many different countries. You can't just baby these guys, right, and get them to 15-0, 16-0, and then you find out they ain't good enough. If these guys are future world champions, if they are what we hope they are, they will win. If they won't, they won't. Sorry, if they're not, they won't. But that's fine. It's no problem not being good enough or not being ready, but I'd rather find out. And it's not a case of slinging them in. But you've got to move at a pace if you want to be recognised as a star. Look at Amo Williams. He's the guy that's done that, really. Just boxed Dennis Duglin. I mean, he's a novice. Come through him, won virtually every round. So let's see if Espino, if Arthur Jones, if Biaslanov are or could be the real deal. And if they're not, they'll get beat on Saturday, all of them.
Well, that's what we love to see. I broke down the card. I wasn't meant to be here, but fortunately I am. So I looked at the card and I was like, wow, you've matched them quite hard. This kid's 50-50. People might not know the names, but I reckon the fights up and down the card are going to be great fights.
No one wants to watch one-sided fights, but when you bring a young kid through or a young fighter, you're going to give them one-sided fights in your second, in your third, in your fourth. But then you have 2 years or a year, and obviously with COVID as well, COVID's kind of like, I just feel like people want to move faster, and if that's the case, they're going to be match tougher. And it's great news for the fans.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, bruv. I've got to say as well, I know I'm going to talk about Fury Joshua, but I want to talk about your Instagram from yesterday. You were in San Diego with Canelo, then you were in Las Vegas with Billy Joe Saunders. I saw the photo with you and Billy Joe Saunders. These fucking bracelets do my tits in. Saunders looks absolutely in tremendous shape. He's at the UFC centre doing his work. Canelo's always in shape. I mean, just talk to me about what was said, what was the meeting about, and how good are these fighters looking right now?
Really good. I mean, firstly, I wanted to go and see both guys. I flew in to see Canelo to talk about some projects that we're working on away from his fights at the moment, and obviously talking about the Saunders fight. He had some media to do as well. Great to see firsthand the setup. Again, I joke about being a fanboy, but forget being a fanboy of Canelo. I'm a fanboy of Eddie Reynoso and the gym. I love gyms that breed great fighters. I love gyms that are full of hard work, sweat. Like for me, a boxing gym should not be, this. Yeah, it's a boxing gym should be.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to say shithole, but not a shithole. You know what I mean? But so I walked into Eddie Reynoso's gym yesterday, and I thought, is that it? Like literally size of this, and the ring is on top of, like, if you're doing your run, literally Canelo is sparring 10 yards away from you, right? Andy Ruiz is sparring, Frank Sanchez is sparring, Ryan Garcia is sparring. And the feeling in that gym is, what I love about boxing gyms, and this is where you talk about, I know this is going a bit random and deep, but this is where I talk about grassroots. I know grassroots in the community.
Yeah.
It breeds competition. It makes you feel good. It gives you a sense of belonging. And that's what builds great gyms. Canelo Alvarez and Eddie Reynoso won't let anyone in that gym that is not giving it 120%. Right? Once you walk through that doors, there's no fucking about. It's hard work, right? You go in there, you leave your fucking soul in there, and you walk out the door. Respect, discipline, manners. These are all the things that boxing breeds in people. And when you go into a gym, it's so refreshing to see a gym with that level of fighters that has all those characteristics and fundamentals and the basic sort of blessings of boxing, all those things that I just mentioned. And it's exactly the same when you walk into an ABC. Don't matter if it's the Repton, Lion, Newham, I mean even up north, you know, Fox, like loads of them, Rotunda, you know, it's the same, they're all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same. And the people are all the same, right? Rough diamonds. And it's so refreshing to see a world-class gym like that. So that was a great trip. He's confident, extremely confident. And then flew down to Vegas and saw Billy Joe's training with the UFC. Shout out to Dana White and those guys for providing a great facility for him. Looks tremendous, tremendous. I mean, I reckon he's on weight now, or there or thereabouts. Greg
That's
Marron.
unheard of for Billy Joe, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think, thing is with Billy Joe, let's be honest, to get the best out of Billy Joe, for all his faults, is a boxing genius, right? He breaks fights down. He's an exceptional talent. He knows how good Canelo Alvarez is. He knows that unless he is 110%, and unless he puts in the greatest performance of his career, he cannot win this fight. And he's not deluded, but he knows he has the ability to win. That's the difference. And you know that they've been in camp for a long time. Forget the torn scrotum and the 13, 15 stone or whatever it was. No, he's been in Fortaventura for many, many weeks. He's now out in Vegas. He's in the shape of his life. And they know the challenge, but they really believe they're going to win.
We're 3 weeks out, well, just over 3 weeks out, but Dana was in Vegas. I know you and Dana have spoke about working together. Is that still an idea for you and Dana to do something? I know Dana wants to come into boxing, so have you talked about something like that? Yeah,
so he came down, I messaged him and said I was there, he popped down, and then we had a meeting upstairs in his rather palatial office.
Better than yours?
Just slightly. I mean, I'm doing my office up at the moment, and I walked into his office, again, which was the same size as, actually 3 times the size of Canelo's gym. And I just thought to myself, bloody hell, mate, you got a few levels to go yet. And I just, as someone that, you know, I love business. When I walk into that office, that facility, I become a fanboy. Forget the boxing. I just look at it and go, fuck me, this is where we want to be.
Yeah.
You know, I want our own performance centre. I want our facilities for our fighters. I want a team of 300 people, or however many. I want TV studios built in. I want an arena. I want our own. And that's it's always been. I look at the UFC as everyone in every industry has got the sort of things they aspire to be, right? And if you're a fighter, you aspire to be a great champion or a former champion or whatever. In business, I look at other businesses in similar sectors, and I look up and the UFC. I don't mind. I have no problem. I don't have an ego to say I want to be like that business. You know, I'm jealous of what they've created in a good way because I admire them. But I say to our guys all the time, and I always say it, look at what they're doing.
Yeah, I thought I was going to know what you're going to say. You've said to me numerous times, you said if you wish success on other people, success will come to you. I heard you say that to me a couple of times.
That comes from being comfortable in yourself. Like, and I think being comfortable in yourself comes with age, to be honest, and happiness. But like, I don't have any animosity. I just feel that, you know, I feel like, you know, clean hearts win. And I look at that business and I just go, do you know what? You guys have done so well. You must be so proud. What an achievement. This is amazing. I don't walk in and go, fucking look at his, I fucking can't believe it. Look at the size of his office. Because you ain't going to be, but listen, maybe I would have 15 years ago, I don't know. But I like to see people achieve. I like to see, and even fighters, I like to see, a bit like Liam Williams this week. I'm really pleased he's got the opportunity. He's not my fighter, and I don't, but If he wins, fucking good luck to him. And it's a tough sport. So, and that's the same in business. Business is tough as well. And if you achieve and you do well, fucking well done to you. You know. But I look at that business and I say to our team all the time, just watch. You know, if you have to copy, it ain't embarrassing. But yeah, but that's where we want to be. And I just said to him, I said to Danny yesterday, this is what I want. I want to be this for boxing, and that is my goal. And maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't. But I'll back myself.
Definitely, and you always do. Right, let's do it then. You know what's coming? Let's talk about it. There's two other people that are in Vegas, Bob Arum and Tyson Fury.
Bob's not, actually.
Is he not in Vegas?
No, he's not, but Tyson is.
Okay, well Tyson, I thought Bob might be there, but Tyson and you posted on Instagram the what's it called again, the stadium in Vegas?
Oh, Allegiant.
The Allegiant Stadium. Both of you posted that on your stories now. I don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to think. Have you done that to put give us little hints and stuff like the fans? Vegas, 70,000 fans in Vegas. Fury says that's his home. What's going on there?
No, I mean I'm not sure you've read that correctly, but you know, listen, that stadium is definitely under consideration. What I will tell you is that we have had an offer that we are all happy with, which is a major, because again, some people say, well, we won't get the right offer, and we have an offer that both fighters, both teams accept. Okay, so we are now closing that contract with that site. Again, Allegiant is one of the sites that is in play, but the offer that we have had that the fighters and teams accept is not Allegiant, but it will be revealed shortly. And every hurdle we have to overcome. You always get, so you sign the contract, yeah, but you got to get the site deal. Okay, well, we've got the site deal now, and everyone's happy. So now, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you other than
that's what I was going to say. So what else is left to do? Both teams have accepted. So is it just a signature on a bit of paper now?
It is, and it's just to finalise. The venue, make sure everyone's happy with that, the exact date, etc., and the same date applies. It's still a summer fight. It's not drifting into September, October, November. This is a summer fight, and that's the latest hurdle that's overcome, and probably the biggest one of what to overcome after they both signed the agreement. So those offers were presented to the fighters. They're happy, and now we just do the necessary paperwork, and we're good to announce. I don't want to tell you when.
Well, I was going to say that because you said the Coogan. You don't like to
do it because I always sort of.
Give me a date.
I don't know. All right, let's just say by the end of next week, yeah, because I feel like that's a confident date. But I just think, how many times have I said 2 weeks for it? And I'm just a positive person who thinks that it will be done by then. But I've got to be honest with you, it's been horrendously awkward.
It seems like you're doing a lot of legwork here.
Fucking loads of it. And I'm not having a pop at the other people, but I just don't. I think I'm the only one capable of pulling it off. And I met up with Tyson yesterday in Vegas just to say hello. And it was good because I don't really know the guy, but it's good to hear from his mouth he's 1,000,000% all in on this fight. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he does. But everyone acknowledges, for all the animosity between the teams, of which the build-up will be unbelievable, right? We all accept we must do this. Do you know what I mean? We all accept this is the fight, and it's the only fight. No one wants another fight. This is the fight for boxing. And we took another big step forward, and now we've got to finish the job. AJ and Tyson Fury have both come out with positive mindset. I seen Michelle's interview with Tyson. He was positive. AJ's came out on Twitter. He's positive. When you were talking about that, you've got a smile on your face. I mean, are we going to be happy? That's all going to be done? Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I go back to what I said to Coogan. Couldn't have done any more. Couldn't have done any more. And with all the work we've put in, again, we accept the offer that has been made to us, and we just need to finalise that in terms of the paperwork, and we're good to go.
Finally, before I let you go, I know you want to get out there and enjoy the Miami sun because you were on the red eye last night, and horrendous.
Worst idea ever. I just thought, because you can't get from the west coast to the east coast in time for the 12 o'clock presser, unless you go at 12:45 a.m. on a 4-hour flight, red eye, and wake up at 8 o'clock. It's just the worst idea. And I'm sitting there like that, no beds, right? Can you believe it?
Oh, no. Poor Eddie Hearn on his private jet.
It weren't even a private jet. But also, when you're 6'5" and 18 stone, let me tell you, 4 hours sitting there like that ain't the best. And I sort of, you know, but anyway, it's another story. So I'm going to have a couple of hours in the sun this afternoon, to be honest with you, because...
Okay, so I just want to mention one thing. Frank mentioned 2.5 million pay-per-view buys for this fight, Fury, Joshua Fury, however you want to do it. Do you agree with that?
More.
More?
Yeah, I believe this does 3 million buys. You're never ever going to get a fight like this again. This is the biggest fight in British boxing history. One of the biggest fights in all time with boxing. 2 British world heavyweight champions for the undisputed heavyweight world championship. The biggest sporting event of the year. The whole world will stop to watch this fight. And that's one of the reasons we haven't given up. One of the reasons is, when AJ come into the office, people are probably bored of this story now, I said, and he said, undisputed heavyweight world champion. That is the aim. And this is it. We're doing it. He's going to knock Tyson Fury out. He's going to become the undisputed heavyweight world champion in the biggest sporting event of 2021, and a sport in a fight that will be watched by the entire world.
Plus we get a rematch.
Yeah, but they'll stop. Well, you have to see if Fury wants a rematch. Maybe he'll walk away from the sport after he gets stopped.
I hope not. It won't keep you much longer. I know you probably love doing the media now because you're so used to it.
Love it. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go enjoy some sunshine because my bald head needs a tan before I go home. So Eddie, thanks as always for doing this for IFL TV, and no doubt I'll catch you during the week.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it.